and welcome to another video. My name is Fotini and you're visiting me on my blog at Fotini's Stampin' Spot. I wanted to do a card for a friend as part of a challenge of our team's theme challenge for the week. And I found this stamp set in my collection called Birthday Blooms, which has a really pretty sentiment, dear friend, and we're going to use this big bloom here, and I'm going to show you how to use your blender pens and how you can use the effect of a watercolor for our card. This is the card that we're going to create, so we have a couple different steps that we need to do. So we'll be using the yellow Daffodil Delight, which we're going to run through the Big Shot to get this really pretty effect, wave effect, or ruffle effect. It is made by using our Ruffle Dynamic folder. It's a new folder in the new catalog for 2017, and it's actually wider than the normal ones and thicker than the normal ones, so it gives a really deep impression, and I'll show you how to use that. And then we're going to use some Melon Mambo for the base of our card, and I have that already cut and scored and ready to go. So we'll just fold that over and you can use your hands or you can use your bone folder just to give it a good crease. Okay, so that's ready. We'll put that to the side. And then we're going to also use Melon Mambo for this scalloped edge here. I actually went ahead and die cut that out already. It's the largest of the scalloped. So I have that ready to go. And I'm going to show you how we're going to stamp our image and how we're going to color it in. So we have basic black ink here, and I have our big block, which is an E size block, which is great for this size. This size block is great for these bigger images, and it's such a nice nice addition to any stamper's collection because it allows you to use those bigger stamp sets with much ease. So I'm just going to take it. Here's my Whisper White. I have a piece of scrap, and I'm just going to stamp and press at the bottom and then lift up. And not the entire image is going to be used because we're going to take our layered framelits in the oval, and we're going to layer around this, and we're going to get the coordinating one that is just slightly smaller than this one, if I can find it here somewhere. Okay, is it one of these? I think it might be this one. Yes, I think it's this one. So we're going to actually take this and die cut the image out, and then we'll have something that looks like this. Okay, and so what we're going to do now is I'm going to use our two colors, our Melon Mambo and our Daffodil Delight, and we're going to use our blender pen, which is a really cool tool. I'm not going to use basic black now. We'll use it in a bit for our sentiment. So we're going to use our blender, our water aqua pens, which just is a paintbrush tip and water filled inside, and I'm going to show you how we can use our Stampin ink pads to add some color. The best way to get these ink pads for watercoloring, there's actually a couple different methods, but if you have the inks refills like these, you can use them on a block or a little bowl or something to dip into. But if you do not, and you just only have our ink pads, what you do is when it's closed, you want to push and squeeze the front to back, and what it's going to do is transfer some ink from the sponge to the palette here. And all you have to do is you have to take your ink, the ink from here using the brush, and color it to where you want. The more water you add, the lighter and thinner it gets. The less water you add, the darker the color goes. So basically just rub here, and I typically like to do a little darker in the center where these lines are, and then kind of pull out of that as it gets lighter. So you can always keep redipping and keep adding more color if you like to, or you can just have it be lighter on the edges by just drawing it out and putting just the deep. As you see the color starts to fade, you can always add some more. Okay, and you just kind of go around. I'm using Daffodil Delight because I'm using the Daffodil Delight in my card with the embossing folder, so I thought that would be fun to pull in that same color in a floral. So I'm just going to keep coloring this in. As you can see, it starts to get lighter. You can add your shading. It's okay if you come out of the lines. This is a watercolor effect, so that's perfectly fine and normal. No cards will be alike because this will give every card a different effect. Your touch, your pressure, the amount of color that you put on each time you put the brush in is going to give you a slightly different color for the card each time. Okay, so I did one layer. I'm going to do these up here too. And I'll probably go a little bit out of the line. Like I said, it is watercolor. And what I'm going to then do, as it just dried a few seconds, I'm going to come back and just wherever I have these little marks of the petals, I'm going to go over without squeezing at all. I'm just coloring straight on it to give it a more deeper look. Okay. Now to get rid of the color on your pen, we're actually done now with Daffodil Delight. All you have to do is take your pen and just wipe it on either a piece of scratch or something until it runs clear, and then this is ready to go. So we'll do the same thing with Melon Mambo, and I'm just going to use Melon Mambo to color, just to pull the color in and to bring in that beautiful color in the center. So right in the center here, I'm just going to put a little Melon Mambo and then pull it out as I come out towards the petals. Okay. Super easy. Can't make a mistake. So we're done with that. And the other thing that I want to do is fill in these leaves. And I really like Old Olive. I don't have the ink pad, but I do have the Stampin' Right marker. So we're just going to use, our markers have two tips. It has a fine tip on the one and a brush tip on the other. That's the side I'm going to use. And we're just going to just color gently, super light. I'm barely touching it. I just wanted to give it a really light press. I can't do too much with my shading in this as I could with my blender pen, with my aqua painter. So I'm just trying to be as light as possible. Of course, the more pressure you apply, the darker it will get. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is totally therapeutic. Feels like when I was a kid coloring in my coloring books. Except now I have just more tools and fun things that I can play with. So let's finish this leaf here. Okay, and I think I want to go back just for 1 second and color in that bud that's coming up there. And I'm just going to grab a little bit more and just fill that in. I think that will look better with the green. Okay, so that part is done. So what we're going to do is, since I had already die cut this out, I'm going to adhere my blossom. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm going to adhere my blossom to the Melon Mambo. Camera got bumped into. And I'm going to line that up. Okay. And then I'm going to flip that over. I'm going to use our dimensionals because I want to pop it up, but I'm not going to put it on quite yet because I have to dry emboss my Daffodil Delight. So let's put that here for a second. Let me bring over the Big Shot and I'll show you how that folder works. So here we have our Big Shot. It is big. Takes up the whole screen. And we're going to add a couple plates. So we're going to add the Big Shot platform for the embossing folder. That's going to go in first. Actually, let me go this way so that it can fit. And then I'm going to use our folder as soon as I figure out where I put it. And we're going to take the Daffodil Delight and we're going to put it inside. Close it down and put that on top. And then we're going to put our clear sandwich plate on top of that. The camera's a little in the way. Let's see if I can move this a little so we can see better. There you go. Okay, it's a little off-centered, but just to give me some room here. And I'm going to put my sandwich plate on top. I'm going to just run it through and then run it back again. Okay. And it has produced this really pretty, see that? Isn't that cool how that looks? Really deep impression. And of course you can see it on the other side, the negative of it. This would be great for waves, ruffles, something girly like a ruffle. We're going to just use it for the back of this card just to give it some different feel so it's not so flat. Okay, so now that we have our Daffodil Delight, let's bring back our basic black and our card base. And I'm also going to bring back my basic black archival ink because I want to add the sentiment, dear friend. Okay, let's get you guys back centered here. Okay. Okay, so tap that in there, and I'm going to try to get it right in between here so that it's not in the middle of the wave, kind of like underneath the wave. So I'm going to just put that there, press down and up again. Okay, that's the end of our black. So now we're going to put this all together. I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight and put some snail. If you have fast fuse, that's also probably really good considering this is raised so it doesn't curl because it is a more deeper texture. I'm going to put this onto my basic black. Okay, and I'm going to adhere the black layer to the base of the card. Okay, and the only other thing that we have to add, let me get this straight, is our dimensionals, which we already have on here. We just got to peel them off. Okay, there we go, and just adhere that right there, and there you have it. Pretty card for a dear friend. Now if you'd like to, another thing that you could probably do is to take another piece of cardstock and enter and add on the inside a layer of either black with yellow or just yellow, and here is our finished product. I thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you liked this video. If you'd like to know how to order any of the supplies that I used today, please check the link below. It will take you right to my shopping page and to my blog, and you can see the dimensions and the material that was used to make these cards today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please click subscribe so that you can see any new videos that I post and for any new fun techniques with Stampin' Up! Products. Again, thanks again. My name is Fotini, and I wish you a great day. Bye.